Yeah. Coke fed for some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls resting, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, now guess she tweet, I guess she confess. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best to get spontaneous. I stereotype, put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch.
Yo, hey everybody. Hello, welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream. I know it's late and we don't know how many people are going to come on, probably our usual guys, but the Thunder, of course, took care of business tonight in a nice win, 130-109 over the Sacramento Kings, took advantage of them in the third quarter. Nice run by the Thunder. What was it, a 20-9 run or 20-8 run or something like that, and did what we needed to do down the closing stretch. But I'm going to say this, the Thunder are now 13-4, and I believe the game, let me check and make sure the game is over yet, Nathan. It's 25 seconds to go. The Nets are up by 8. So we will be in sole first place in the West now at 13-4, and the Warriors will be 12-5, which of course we played them Wednesday night, right? I think Wednesday we played them.
Yes. Wednesday night.
And so anyway, I loved what I saw from the Thunder. What is your takeaway, Nathan? From here, let's pull the stats up real quick. What is your takeaway from what you saw tonight from the Thunder?
Maybe it's because they've been off since Wednesday, but I felt like the first quarter was a little sloppy. I mean,
look who he had in the game. You know. What was he doing?
Well,
you had Dylan Jones and A.J. Mitchell and
Dylan Jones, A.J. Mitchell. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was, and then the defense wasn't really that great in the first quarter either. But after that, I felt like they kind of just
settled down,
got it together a little bit.
Yeah,
settled down a little bit. They were making shots all night long, man. I mean, it just came out.
Well, at first, they ended up being 8 for 32. So they were making a bunch of shots at first.
No, I'm talking about the Thunder.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Sacramento.
Well, DeMar DeRozan, man, was he on fire tonight or what? Jeez.
Well, he ended up with 31 or something. Whatever he ended up with, something.
Yeah, I think he was 9 for 12 in the first half or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that mid-range, man, he's killing it.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, he is not apologetic to his.
You see him pass up that three in the corner three wide open, and he steps in about, 6-8 feet and knocks that jumper down.
Well, that's what he does, Nathan, as we know. He is the mid-range king.
Oh, yeah.
And, but the Kings, 8 for 32, and they made most of their threes in the first half when they were on their run.
They ended up one in the second half.
Yeah, one. The Oklahoma City Thunder, 14 for 32, much better shooting. 55.8% from the field, holding the Kings to 48. I don't know, holding the Kings, does that sound right? Holding the Kings to 48%.
Yeah, because they were almost 60 in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, and we were just giving them wide open shots. I mean, our rotation was terrible in the first half. Man. Terrible.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know who it was, and then they kept leaving the guys on the 3-point line, and I'm just like, guys, what are you doing?
Well, it was the lineups he had in there. It's like one time SJ got beat backside. He comes up for the double team, and Dylan Jones doesn't rotate down. It's like, what are you doing? Why do you rotate?
Yeah,
I mean, come on, dude. But once again, he's just not ready.
Unfortunately, I think you're going to see a little bit more of that because Kaysen goes down tonight.
Yeah, and Alex Caruso is out.
Caruso's out. Jay Will's still out. Golly.
Yeah, Chet's gone.
Chet's still out too.
Yeah. The Thunder out rebounded them 44-31. Alex, hey, brother, what's up? Alex R just joined us. So hello to you, big guy. Thunder out rebounded by 13. Only gave up 9 offensive rebounds, Nathan. Only 9, which is good for us because what do we give up? 14, 16. Pips points in the paint.
The bonus kills us usually on the board.
Yeah, he does. Pips points in the paint, 56-42. The Thunder took care of business like we usually do. Alex says he only watched from the third quarter on. Well, that's all you need to watch, brother. We're gonna finish up, and then we're gonna
Right.
talk. The first half there wasn't anything to talk about, bro. So you're good. SGA had 12 in the third quarter when we made our run, by the way, and he only played
Mhm.
8 minutes, I think, or 9
Did he
minutes
play?
of the
Did
third
he
quarter.
play the whole fourth quarter? Did he
Yeah,
even
the
go
whole
out
fourth
the
quarter. Well, what happened was J-Dub had more minutes than he did. And so they
Did
had
he
to bring.
really?
Yes, he had more. No, at that
Oh,
time, and
not to end, but
yeah, he played
just
more minutes, and then he had to bring SGA back in there once he got back up. So that's what happened. He pulled J-Dub out for a couple minutes to put SGA back up, and they made their little run right at the end of the third, and they came in the fourth, and
But
SGA
didn't
started, J-Dub did not, and then so they could keep it on that because you can't justify because they'll get lit up by national media if J-Dub is playing more minutes than SGA. They'll get lit up. They can't explain that.
yeah.
There's no way you can explain
Well,
that.
did SGA play the whole fourth quarter?
Yeah, he did.
Didn't
Well, to the last 2
he? So
minutes,
I
I
mean,
think. But
yeah, it still wasn't a game anymore.
yeah, his stats though, I wasn't overly pleased with his stats because he ended up with 6. Yeah, he had 6 turnovers. He had 6.
6 turnovers.
Yeah, 6 of our
Man.
15, and a couple of them were
I'll
just.
be honest with you though, man. I kind of like. I don't. Again, I know the rotation. He plays his first and third quarter, but I kind of like him going out with 4 or 5 minutes in the third quarter and playing the rest of the way. I kind of like that.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, Woody, he came out with 4 or 5, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and then came back with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, played the rest of the game.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I kind of like that because I like having him on the floor the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, we made
me.
that run a little bit when him on the bench. He came back in, they pulled J-Dub out, and then we ended up closing him out. And then he started the fourth quarter with J-Dub on the bench, and that's when we made our run. And when J-Dub came back, J-Dub helped close out because he made some huge threes. But once again, the formula to me is really simple. In the fourth quarter, let SGA bring the ball up. When we go a possession where he does not touch the ball in the half court offense, it's terrible for us. It's terrible for us. Nothing good happens. But so anyway, here are the stats. J-Dub, 32 minutes, 10 for 16, 3 for 7 from 3, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 28 points. I had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. I thought he played really well, overall.
Yeah.
But once again, his ball handling skills are
not there.
They're not there.
No,
he's
not
just
there.
not. He's a 3, just like everybody thinks, except the Thunder.
Well, and I think my personal opinion, and I mean J-Dub is a great player, a good player.
He's a very good player. He's a good player, yes.
But and we talk about it all the time. But when SGA has the ball, the other guys, they kind of relax a little bit.
Yes, when he's cooking. He's cooking.
Yeah, if you can tell though in the fourth quarter of a lot of these games, the reason J-Dub is making all those threes in whatever you want to call it, not clutch time, but I mean fourth quarter time, is because SGA is lighting it up and everybody's guarding him, and
and he
J-Dub
makes the
gets
right
wide
play.
open look.
He makes the right play.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's exactly what happens. And anyway, SGA, Isaiah Hartenstein. Dude, I'm sorry, guys. Alex R. says J-Dub was cooking but fouls too much. Yes, he does. He fouls a lot because J-Dub is 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", but he's not agile.
He's usually guarding a bigger guy.
He's not. He's very good at that.
He's
good at that. He's not agile enough to be a complete scorer ball handler. That's just not what he is. He's a big guy who can make moves in the creases, pulls up and shoots that little fadeaway jump shot from 10 feet. Perfect. SGA 35 minutes, 13 for 20, 4 for 8, 7 for 11, 7 for 11 for free. That's just terrible. Terrible. I'm sorry. 4 rebounds, 11 assists, no steals, even though he did get his hands on a couple balls. 6 turnovers, 37 points. He averages 37 against them. But how about this, everybody? This is the first time we beat them since January 29th, 2020.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Sacramento.
In Sacramento.
In Sacramento.
Wow.
Yeah. Last time we beat them by 20, by the way. Isn't that crazy? The last time we beat them was by 20 in 2020 on the 29th.
That's when Chris That's when Chris Paul played for us.
Yeah, that's when the SGA was there. SGA, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder, Gallinari,
Gallinari,
Dort, and who was that? Who was the other big? We had a big. Who was the
Steven
other big?
Adams. Steven Adams.
Was Steven Adams?
Steven Adams.
Yes. Then of course Aaron Wiggins, dude. I'm sorry, but I don't want. I want Aaron Wiggins stop trying to take somebody off the dribble. He doesn't. That's not his game. Shoot the threes. Drive to cut to the basket, try to finish at the rim, which he's decent at. But trying to take the ball and take people off the dribble, I'm not happy with that. I don't like that. It's going to cost us. Aaron Wiggins, 22 minutes, 3 for 6, 1 for 2, 4 rebounds, 0 assists, 2 turnovers.
Another win with him in the starting lineup.
Yep, another win. Because Lucas Dort played more than anybody. 39 minutes. It's just your best player, your only all NBA first team player. Somebody plays more minutes. It's just once again, like the Athletic said, the cooler, which is what you and I call him, the SGA cooler.
Yeah,
it's just nobody should play more minutes than your best player. I'm sorry. That makes no sense to me. 0 for 2, 0 points again for Lou Dort. Then, of course, Kendrick Williams, great minutes tonight. Great minutes by K. Rich. Great minutes by K. Rich. Yep. Dylan Jones, while he played 6 minutes, I don't know why he's even on the court. I don't get it.
AJ had a good game again, though.
Well, what I'm saying is just like you and I talked about. What did we say? Let me see. What did John Warren say? Dort had a very quiet game on offense, but really shut down Fox in the second half. Yeah, quiet game. He had no points, John Warren, he had no points. So, yeah, he was very quiet on the offensive end. But that being said, I agree he shut down De'Aaron Fox. But like I said, John, that's what you and I talk about, Nathan and I have talked about. We want Dort to do what? Lock down on the defensive end. We don't need you scoring. We don't need you trying to go into the basket. We don't need none of that nonsense. Shoot open threes, and then maybe go to the basket and shoot a layup, a wide-open layup. Like Dort, SGA got a turnover because Dort was crashing to the basket. And SGA looking at him like, what are you doing? Stay in the corner. What are you doing? Anyway, Kendrick Williams, 15 minutes, 2 for 2, 10 points. I thought he played great. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought he played really, really good tonight. Isaiah Joe, 3 for 10, 3 for 8 once again. Dude, his numbers are just not very good. AJ Mitchell, Casey Wallace, 15 minutes, 2 for 4, 4 minutes, 4 points. And my deal is this: there's no world I live in that I want Dylan Jones on the court before I want Kendrick Williams, Casey Wallace, AJ Mitchell, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort, Jay Will, or SGA. There's no world I live in I want him on the court. Or Caruso. Yeah, but Caruso didn't play. So I'm just saying. There's no world. Yeah, but Caruso too. There's no world I live in I want him on the court. None. I don't live in that world. He's a G League player. Let him go develop in G League. Put him in some games because he's playing Jang minutes. That's what he's doing.
Did you see? So I never want anybody to be hurt.
I don't know if he's hurt
on anybody, but Jang got hurt in the G League game. So
yeah, okay. I'm with you. I'm not. Doesn't sound good, but
he gets hurt in the G League. He doesn't play in the big show. So, again, I don't want anybody to get hurt. But
you're not unhappy. But you're not unhappy is what you're saying.
I'm not unhappy.
That's what you're saying. Right. You're not unhappy. That's what you're basically saying is that you are not unhappy.
Right.
Which is okay. It's okay to feel that way. But anyway, and of course, AJ Mitchell, 18 minutes. And so our boy Hotspot Casino will be happy, even though he's not on right now. He wants him to play and bring the ball up the court. 18 minutes, 6 for 8, 1 for 1, 15 points. I like me some AJ Mitchell. He's growing on me just like Casey did last year, don't you think?
I am not upset to see him in a closing lineup. To be honest with you.
Well, I don't want him in the closing lineup. I don't want him in the closing lineup.
Well,
I don't want him in the closing lineup under no one.
Like a mid-fourth quarter lineup,
I don't mind that, yes.
Where we're making our run.
I don't mind that, yes. Starting, but the 5-minute mark and in, I don't want him on the court.
Yeah, he's really, really developing into a nice little player, man.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. Develop one guy a year, and that's our guy.
Yep.
So I'm okay with that. but he played really good. I was really pleased with what I saw from the Thunder. And once again, everybody, this is a big run for us. And let me go ahead and get our next. Let me go ahead and put these our games up here. Okay, we are now 2 games left, and we are 5-2. 3 games left,
Then
and
we
we're
would
5-2.
Yeah, 3 games left. Yep.
Yeah, we're 5-2 with 3 games left. We've got the Warriors on Wednesday, the Lakers on Friday, and by the way, that's in LA, right? I had it at home, but that's in LA, right? That's not home. That's in LA.
Yes, that's in LA. Yes.
Yeah, I had that wrong on our deal, so I need to fix that. The Lakers thing is going to be hard for us because Dalton Connect, what a great pickup for him, and Drew was completely 100% right on that. Wanting a shooter, and he turned out to be. And plus, he's with a coach who was a shooter, so that's not gonna. He can help him get into the right spots. You know what I'm saying? For him to be able to flourish, and that's worked out really well for him. So, okay, I'll fix that real quick. It'll pop up on our screen here. But anyway, these next 3 games at the Warriors Wednesday, which is for first place again. Then we have at the Lakers, and then at the Rockets on Sunday. So we have 2 back-to-back games on. Yeah, we got 2 games. We had 2 back-to-back games on ESPN. And who was it? Remember somebody said how we had a bad record on ESPN on national televised games. Remember?
I didn't. I guess I didn't. I didn't see that. I guess.
Yeah, somebody said that. That we had a back-to-back. Well, this is what we are currently on nationally televised games. We're 3-1. And that game is on TNT. It says TNT Wednesday, not ESPN.
That's pretty good. 3-1 on national televised games.
Yeah, so because last year,
the only loss being to the Spurs. Go figure.
Yeah, of this group, and the Mavs.
Yeah.
But once again, it's his lineups of who he plays. And plus those guys. I mean, especially Washington just kills us. He sees us and he's like, "Oh, good! I get to pad my stats for playing against the Thunder." That's what it seems like. It's probably not reality, but it seems like that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So anyway,
yes, it does.
Wait a minute. Wednesday, that has to be on ESPN, not TNT, does it? Will you check? Let me see, Nathan.
Yeah.
Let me check. Schedule. Yeah, it's on ESPN. I was right. I changed it on my deal. I knew I was right. Somebody was messing with me. I had it right the first time, and I changed it. But anyway, because it's Wednesday night, because TNT is Tuesdays, isn't it?
Yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was Tuesdays and Thursdays. But anyway, what is your feelings on ESPN going to taking over for TNT?
I didn't.
Keeping
keeping
inside the NBA. Oh, you didn't see that? And I don't know how many of you. I don't know how many of you guys know this. ESPN bought out. I said this on the Unpopular Hour. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think it was like for 13 Big 12 games and 15 something or other. Let me see if I can pull it up and I'll give you exactly what it was. Let me see. What did I do with it? Where is it? It was like I want to say it was like 13 Big 12 games and 12 something other games, like 13 Big 12 basketball games. And let me see, where is it? Let me find the picture of those guys. But anyway, I'm really pleased with what I saw tonight. But Isaiah Hartenstein, bro, what do you think he means to us, Nathan?
I love. You just imagine what him and Chet are going to be like together.
Oh my God,
dude,
bro!
That's going to be great. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that dude is it's so nice to have a guy that can just get rebounds and he doesn't need the ball.
Okay, here it is. Oh no, that's not it. Go ahead.
He passed that pass.
Okay, here it is, Nathan. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
God, that pass.
ESPN trades for inside the NBA. They are giving up
Trades?
13. They're giving up 13 Big 12 football games and 15 Big 12 basketball games, which is the big key. That's what they wanted, the Big 12 basketball, not football. They wanted the Big 12 basketball games. But that's what they're giving up to get them.
I think that's a great trade. I mean, that inside the NBA, man, that's gold.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty good what they did, but let me see. ESPN needs, let me see. AJ seems to be poised, especially for how experienced he is. Yes, we agree, Alex, and that's part of the things. What we were saying was the fact that because of that, it seems like that. But we always develop one guy a year. Remember, last year it was Kaysen. He's doing the same role that AJ is doing this year. The year before that, because we don't really count Chet as his first year, because Chet was already developed, don't we think?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so you had Kaysen last year, and the year before you had J-Dub, and the year before that you had Josh.
You know, the thing I like about AJ, and I like Kaysen. You know how much I like Kaysen.
Yeah.
But the thing I see about AJ that I like a little bit better than, and again, he's young, so we're both.
Well, offensively,
but,
this is my thing. Well, go ahead, Nathan. I'll tell you. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just like how he handles the ball better. Like he's more of a point guard than Kaysen is. Like he can distribute a lot better.
Well,
I think.
Yeah, well, that's
know,
what I'm saying.
Not,
well, what I was trying to say is to go along with your point, or to get your point even further. What it is that AJ is more of an offensive guy. Kaysen is a defensive guy.
Yes.
That's the easiest way to put it.
And but AJ, he's not great at defense, but he's not. He's not bad.
Alex,
he's not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I agree with you. And, both Alex and John both agree. I heart pass. Alex says, I know you got to talk about that pass from I heart the behind the back. That was sick. And then John's like, I heart's pass first big man, such a luxury. He is a pass first big man. That's 100%. He can actually pass the ball, so that does help.
Yeah, yeah. And he started. I like that he started. That was great.
Yeah, he had 14 field goal attempts tonight. That was a career high, and easily could see him taking 5 more shots. I agree. The falling down behind the back pass, I agree, was sick. It was a nice pass.
Crazy.
That was a nice pass.
Crazy.
But he's very gifted. He's very gifted at that. You know what I mean? He's Ace.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to stop. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, Nathan. I gotta feed Big Boy. He's on my nerves
Which is
right
exactly what we need. I mean, that's exactly what we need is a big guy who can pass the ball. And it's just, I mean, it's gonna be fun with all the guys back in the lineup. To me.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Now go away. He's like,
the defense is going to be played, and not to mention, oh man, it's just going to be good. And he's better on defense than I thought he was. I mean, I thought he was just kind of a pass guy, not necessarily a stiff on defense, but he just was maybe like a rung just below, Steven Adams, and he's not as good as Steven is, but he's good, man. He's good.
Yes, I'm really.
And just for people that don't remember how long, I mean, outside of Steven Adams, how long it's been since we've had a decent big guy. Remember the Kendrick Perkins days, okay?
Yes.
And remember all the freaking skillet hands he had with. I mean, I couldn't stand watching it. It's what we needed at the time, but I just couldn't stand it. Man.
I agree.
I could not watch
it. He was what he was he's what we needed for physicality in the middle, which is what we needed at that time.
Yes.
That's what he was. By the way, Alex R says, I agree with Nathan. AJ is better at setting the table than Wallace. iHeart screening is top notch, 100%. He is a great up top screener.
Yeah. Well, you saw those two big screens he set when SGA hit those 2 threes.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing that I love about him is that he unlike what we're talking about with Kendrick Perkins, he would clog the middle. iHeart is everything he's done. The offense runs, actually the half-court offense seems to run through him at the top of the key. Which
that little floater, man, he is money on that thing.
yeah. Oh, how about this? How about somebody getting that right tonight? I was listening to our guy on WWLS. All of a sudden, he started calling it a
Good call.
floater. I was like, oh, are you listening to our show? Did we get y'all to
Yeah,
start
not a push
pronouncing
shot.
things correctly? Now, on the Thunder broadcast, I don't listen to it, and I know they don't call it that. Okay, but he kept calling it a floater. I go, that's exactly what it is. It's a floater. That's what it is. Is what we
And,
teach.
I mean, he's money.
Yeah,
He
but
is
but
money
that's
on that
and the
thing.
thing about a floater is his hand is flat, so there's almost no rotation on the ball, so that the ball will hit and get. Because the more rotation on the ball, the less chance it has to go in. Because if it hits the rim and has a lot of spin on it, the less chance it's going to have to go in. But the more spin it has on, the less chance. The less spin, the more chance. That's why it's a floater. You just pop your hand out just like that and release it. So there's hardly any rotation on it. It makes all the difference in the world on your shot.
Well, and one of the things, we talked about this earlier. Sabonis kills us all the time,
Yeah.
every single time we play him. And I'm not saying he shuts Sabonis down because I don't think anybody can. Sabonis is just a great player. But if you notice, he didn't go off like he normally does. And I think that's twofold.
For
I think
iHeart,
that's iHeart being a great
100%.
a
Because
good
as soon as he
defender,
went
but
out,
also,
yeah, go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
well, iHeart's left-handed too. So he knows better how to defend a left-hander than somebody
right-handed.
that's right-handed.
Yeah, because when he went out of the game, when he got hit. How about them coming back and giving him a foul? Because he did hit him.
Yeah,
It was completely unintentional. That was not intentional at all. Now the punch in the stomach, that should have been a flagrant. He punched him in the stomach.
that was a goaltend.
No. I'm talking about the one when he got the and one. He punched him in the stomach.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He punched him in the stomach. I was like, really? That's not a flagrant. He punched him in the stomach. Come on. But iHeart does flop a lot. I think that's from his Knicks days. He's a flopper. But
Thibodeau.
I agree with John. John says, I love it when he sets screen, opens up a driving lane for SGA. They swarm SGA, and then he flips it over to iHeart for the little floater. 100%. It's a nice pick and roll. But iHeart, the thing I love about him is that our spacing is great because he has the ball out high. So it keeps the spacing open for us to be able to flow and attack the basket. And so that I do like. But, with SGA averaging 37 against them every time, it's because of De'Aaron Fox. Remember, they both went to Kentucky.
He doesn't.
And Monk went to Kentucky. So he wants to let him know, no, I'm the dude. I'm the dude. So a lot of that has to do with that. I'm the guy. You're a beast, but I'm the beast. How about De'Aaron Fox not signing his offer sheet?
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, he did not sign his. They offered him, and he said no. He turned it down.
Supermax? Did they offer?
No,
him
he did. No, they didn't even offer him the full max. I don't think.
Oh my God!
Because
what is wrong with him?
they need to offer him the max because he can't get the super max unless you're all NBA.
Here's the thing with that, Matt. If he doesn't sign that and they lose him,
yes,
that is just dumb.
Well, my deal is
management,
this.
Because think about.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Think about what they did. What they did to get Sabonis. They gave up Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
Because they said we're gonna build this thing around De'Aaron Fox. So if they lose him, man, they're gonna look like idiots.
Yeah, the whole thing is that go ahead. Well, I think the team still has the rights. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he turned it down, but they still can trade him. But the thing is this: offer him the max. You didn't offer him the max. If you offered him the max, he knows he can't get more than that. But offer him the maximum amount you can give him. Give him the max.
What? Well, and that team's trying to win, man. I mean, that pickup for DeRozan, that was a good pickup.
It really was a nice pickup. And with Monk, once again, the Lakers they let go of Monk. They didn't get him. They let go of what's our guy's
Caruso?
name? No,
Caruso?
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Hield. Sorry. But anyway, they let him go. Then the Lakers had remember LeBron nixed that, and that's my problem with LeBron.
Yep.
Fess up to what you did.
Wasn't that Miles Turner? Wasn't that Miles Turner in that trade too?
No, well, no.
Miles
What they
Turner
did
and
is they had
Buddy Hield?
already had the deal set up for Buddy Hield. They were going to add Buddy Hield to Caruso, and they were adding him to that. Okay, he was going to be the deal. And then they end up trading Caruso to get Russell Westbrook and Carmelo.
That's great. Every time.
Yes.
Good job, LeBron. Appreciate it. Because if that team, and I swear, man, I could be wrong, but I'm talking about that trade from Indiana. Was it Indiana? Yeah, it was Indiana.
Yeah, it was Indiana.
The trade from Indiana when they traded. Who were they going to trade? They're going to trade somebody. But anyway, I could have swore the trade they had set up had Miles Turner and Buddy Hield in it. If they would have got those two, holy crap!
Yeah, I agree, but that's LeBron for you. You know what I mean? That's LeBron for you. So I don't know what else.
Did you see what SGA was wearing tonight? Oh my God, dude!
What?
Come on. Oh, he's got some like Volvo racing jersey with some like.
Oh, he had that on the other night. That wasn't
things.
tonight. That was the other
was
night.
That the other night?
Yeah, that wasn't tonight.
They're showing it on SportsCenter right
now.
Yeah,
he had on some. He had on silver. He had on some silver pants. They were calling them foil. Yeah. That was. Who did we play the other night?
Good question. Blazers.
Yes, it was. That wasn't today. That wasn't tonight.
Ooh.
That wasn't. Tonight.
No, okay. They're showing it on ESPN.
Yeah, that wasn't tonight. That wasn't tonight. He did that because Charles Barkley. Because it was. I think it was that game before we played the Blazers, or the game before that on the road game. Who did we play on the road game before that?
No, we had 6 at home. We were 6 at home.
So Blazers this is our first road game, right?
Yep.
So it must have been
Dallas.
Yeah, I guess this was our first home game. I mean, our first road game. This is our first of 4 road games. I think that's right. Let me see. Let me pull up my schedule here. Let me see. My Thunder schedule is right here. Yeah, we played the Spurs on the road and then the Blazers at home. So that must have been the Spurs game.
Okay.
That must have been the Spurs game.
I'm just looking.
So that's probably what it was before they did that. But anyway, I'm just going, dude. We're 13-4, and he's cost us because of his lineups, and I'm still at 10 to 12 games. I mean, I am. I'm. It's just so I'm like, dude, why are you? He pulled SGA out, and he had AJ Mitchell, Dylan Jones, Kaysen, Dort, and who was the other one? Hold on. I was like, what the hell? And I think even Rand, was that you that commented on the lineups? Who was that commented on the lineups in our text chain?
That was me.
I was like,
I could.
Let me see. Okay, he had Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, Dylan Jones, AJ Mitchell, and Kaysen Wallace on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And of course, what did they do? Go on a run?
Yes.
He gives away more possessions. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're doing. He's the minutes managing coach. That's why I call him the minutes manager. That's what he is. Speaking of minutes managing, we want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up over there at SRB. Smith, Roberts, and Baldishwater. Hey, those guys are fantastic, but being behind the scenes. So if you have a new complex that you're building, they can hook you up. Or if you do have a water treatment plant. We were talking about that today, of course, with Robert Mullins about water treatment plant. So he was talking about that because I think they're building a huge new casino down in Durant. So they're looking at trying to get that contract to get them some clean water down there. But if you need for computers or software to help your office run smoother, hit Collaborative Logic up. Also, the thing that I love about them that they do for us, if you don't have an actual hardware problem, they can remote in, don't have to worry about all your computer has to have is computer access, internet. Boom, they can come in and fix everything, which is what they do for us. Thank God for them. They hook me up all the time. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over there. They can take care of you. They have multiple trucks that they're now adding to their fleet. So hit those guys up over there at Oak Grove Trucking. And then, of course, you ready, Nathan? YNB, family owned and operated since 1912.
the bank that makes things happen.
Yes, they are. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC, the proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses. And by the way, you know where we'll be tomorrow. George's Happy Hog, bro.
Yes,
That's where we'll be tomorrow.
That's right.
Yes, sir, tomorrow afternoon.
Great barbecue.
You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into their 5 locations, the main bank, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma on 401 Elm Street. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. You can't miss it, right in front of the hospital. And then YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then my guy, Binky Triplet, Jonathan Binky Triplet, Elm Grove Clothing. Man, he makes some great suits, too. I got a great suit from him, man. I'll tell you what. This guy can make overcoats. And, of course, I need to give you his number so you can hook him so you can get that leisure suit. Man, I can't wait for you to get that leisure suit.
Yep.
Oh my God, 405-332-8787. Hit my guy up. Not spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a suit when you can spend $800 to $1,000. Let's say, hey, our boy Rashawn finally got on. Yeah, you late. Did we talk about the Dort, Wallace, Joe, AJ? Yes, we just talked about that lineup. Like, what the hell is he playing? Yeah, we just talked about that, Rashawn. We just talked about that lineup. And I've said this before. You can't give away possessions. You just can't. It costs you in close games. Alex R. says, Nathan, what do you think is needed to help Isaiah Joe's shooting percentage, or is it just the way it goes with shooters? Go ahead, Nathan. You want to answer that?
We've touched on this a little bit. Mm-hmm. We need to be healthy. I want to see Bowen, which I don't think we will because he won't come back before the trade deadline. But I would have liked to seen a full roster to see if they play defense with Joe on the floor a little bit different than they normally would have. Having the 2 big guys, maybe they don't run him off as easy. I don't know. I don't think we're going to find that out though because Chet's not coming back before the trade deadline.
Right.
So I think they probably trade him.
Before that, I agree. Alex, my thing is this: is that Isaiah Joe is a shooter. He's not a scorer. And when he tries to become a scorer, which he threw the ball away tonight on a terrible pass, I don't even know what the hell he's throwing the ball to. And then comes back and fouls the guy for an and one on the other end. That's a 5-point swing. And it's just because what they did is they have him there to be a catch and shoot guy for threes. He's a shooter. And for those of y'all who don't know what the difference between a shooter and a scorer is, a shooter is a person who catches the ball and shoots. Like we talked about, Nathan, I don't know if I talked to you about this that one day. I was talking about this. How James Harden broke the record now. He passed Ray Allen for the second most threes made in the NBA. But when we think of shooters, we don't include James Harden as a shooter.
No.
And this is how I broke it down for people. I said, what you do is you have shooters, and Ray Allen was a shooter. And then you have what James Harden is. James Harden is a scorer who can shoot threes. Steph Curry is a shooter who can actually score. And by that, how I break it down, this is what I mean. A shooter is just a guy who's going to catch it and shoot. A scorer is somebody like SGA. SGA is a pure scorer, but he's not a shooter.
Yeah.
Okay?
No.
He's a pure scorer. What's our guy we were just talking about for the Kings?
Fox.
No. DeMar DeRozan. By the way, he was trying to go to the Lakers too. By the way, and they didn't have him, so they had him and Buddy Hield to go along with Caruso in that group, and that's not what LeBron wanted. LeBron wanted Westbrook and Carmelo, so that's what they got. But anyway,
thank God LeBron screwed that up.
Yep, he did, and then doesn't take credit for it. I'm not the GM. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But anyway, so a shooter is somebody who just catches the ball. And then Steph Curry is a guy who's the greatest shooter of all time, but he can also take you off the dribble. He can go to the basket and finish at the rim. To me, James Harden is a guy he mainly is thought of as a person who's a scorer. I'm going to take you, I'm going to go to the basket, I'm going to get free throws, I'm going to go to the line, I'm going to score. And then I can also shoot threes. That's what James Harden is. And to me, that's the definition of the three type shooters. And to me, Isaiah Joe is a shooter that they're now trying to turn into a scorer, but he doesn't have the ball handling skills nor the ability to do that because he's been pigeonholed as a shooter, if that makes sense. Let me see. Alex Hard. JJ Redick is a shooter. James Harden is a scorer. Yes. But what we were saying is, Alex, is that James Harden is now the second all-time leading shooter in threes. He's second all-time now in threes behind Steph Curry. And he has 2,900 threes. So he's obviously a shooter. 2,900 threes is a lot of you have to be a shooter. Right, Nathan? I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think so, unless you just jack up a whole bunch of them.
But Steph Curry has 3,700.
Yeah, Steph Curry's the man.
But no,
I mean,
that's what's crazy. So James Harden has 2,900, and he has 3,700. And they're both still playing. And J.J. Redick was a straight-up shooter. 100% he's a shooter. James Harden's a scorer. But what I was saying to Alex is that James Harden is a scorer that's also a shooter, whereas SGA is just a straight-up scorer. He hasn't developed the shooting from three-point lane yet. Whereas Steph Curry is a great shooter that can also finish at the rim and take you off the bounce. So that's what I was saying the difference of those three things are. And Isaiah Joe,
from hell.
Yeah, he does. And SGA and J-Dub Isaiah Joe is just a straight-up shooter who they've run off his spot and not going to let him catch and shoot. So now he's got to try to they're making him score off the dribble, go shoot three, floaters, teardrops, finish at the rim, mid-range. They're making him do things that he's not comfortable doing because he's been pigeonholed as a straight-up shooter. So that's the problem with Isaiah Joe. Now, Nathan, this is the latest numbers, Nathan, by the way. Isaiah Joe, he's shooting 36% from three.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
He was shooting 50 last year, Nathan.
Yeah, he needs to be shooting
That's terrible.
45.
36% for a shooter is terrible. Wiggins is 44%. Dort's at 40. J-Dub is at 39. SGA is at 33. By the way, J-Dub is shooting 81% from free throw line. So be happy.
I am.
Yeah, well, remember they were terrible, so now that's going up. But Isaiah Joe,
dude, I tell you what, man, I about clinched when Kenrich went to the free throw line tonight.
Kendrick is shooting 100%.
Yeah, he did. He made them both.
Yeah, he's shooting 100%.
I was like, oh God, here we go.
Now he's shooting 18% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, I just think he hadn't had enough reps yet, man.
Well, Nick Jordan,
he's not.
Now, Rashawn says tomorrow we need a Phoenix win. Durant and Bill against the Lakers. Yeah, they return against the Lakers. That's true. So we do need the Phoenix to beat them. Nick Jordan says
it's too early to start watching the scoreboard like that. Though it's
I know.
Early.
No, we're talking about for the in-season tournament.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's talking about. In-season tournament. Phoenix
Okay.
win, plus if we beat Lakers Friday, we win the group in the NBA. See, that's what he was talking about.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. I agree.
Let's
But
be real, we ain't beating the Lakers.
But Joe is shooting a lot of threes, Nick, no question. In fact, I'm gonna pull up what Isaiah Joe is shooting right now compared to everybody else, so we can get a good feel for stats. Let me see, and we'll get a good feel for that. Okay, Isaiah Joe is shooting. Let me see, Isaiah Joe. Where is he at? Okay. He's averaging 6.3 threes a game. Okay. Aaron Wiggins 3.8, Lou Dort's 5.8, SGA 5.4, J-Dub 5.1. That's what they're shooting. How many threes? So he's shooting one. He's averaging one more three. Nick, than everybody else. So I don't know if you can really. I don't know if you can really say. I mean, he is shooting more threes, but one more three a game ain't really that big of a deal. Okay, Nick, that's all we're saying. Yeah, you're definitely right. He is shooting more threes, but he's got to make them, bro. He's got to make them. I mean, because what was he tonight, Nathan? Let me pull that back up.
He said 2 for 8, right? 2 for 8, 3 for 8.
He was 3 for 8 tonight. Shea was 4 for 8. He was 3 for 8. J-Dub was 3 for 7. So, yes, he's shooting one more than them, and that's it.
He's not. I guess you could say it like this. He's not shooting a bad percentage on average, but for what he does and what we need him for, he needs to be shooting a lot better.
Yes, 100%. That's the biggest issue right there.
If you're paid to shoot, you need to be shooting 45%.
Well, what he does is what we're saying is, Nick, is that what they're doing is they're running him off his spot. So they're designating whoever's near him on that side, because that's why when SGA was drawing so much attention, that's why last year when you had SGA, Isaiah Joe, Kaysen, Wiggins, and either J. Will or Chet on the floor, you had all the shooters out there. And then what would happen is he was running towards Isaiah Joe, and Isaiah Joe was knocking down a bunch. He was shooting 50%. Since then, he's been going all the way down. Nick Jordan says OKC needs a playmaker to help with that, with iHeart coming back to, let me see.
Confused about.
OKC needs a playmaker to help with iHeart coming back.
No, I don't agree with that.
Well, we have a playmaker. SGA is our playmaker.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously misunderstanding what you're saying, Nick, because SGA is our playmaker 100%. He is the guy. He's all NBA. He'll be the all NBA the third straight year. And how many years? I wonder how many years did KD make all NBA? 6, 5, 4?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that.
We'd have to see how many he made in a row when he's in Oklahoma City.
You know who we need. We need a Keegan Murray or a Kevin Herter. That's who we need.
Well, we need another. We need a shooter. Because Isaiah Joe was our shooter.
And what we really need, which would be nice, is a big shooter, like a tall shooter.
Yeah, and yes, Nick, iHeart is the passer that we need, 100%. iHeart is the passer we need. There's no question about that.
He's awesome.
Yes, let me say, outside of coming back, it will go up. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. SGA is a ball handler, not a playmaker. Huh? Well, if he's not a playmaker, I don't know what you consider a playmaker is. Because if you watch the Thunder, what happens, Nick, is this. When SGA is scoring, the rest of our team is easier because SGA is handling the ball and scoring, so he's making plays. Then what happens is that everybody else is not forced to try to make a play, because he's making all the plays. And then he kicks it off to them, and then everybody's wide open to J-Dub. Drive to the basket, shoot the three, or whatever. Okay, I don't know if he's less of a playmaker. He is the most unguardable guy in the league. I don't know anybody who's going to say that except you. You can ask anybody who's he's one of the top 2 or 3 most unguardable players in the league. Yeah. That would be him. Jeremy Charles says he agrees with Nick that he's not a playmaker. I don't know what y'all definition of a playmaker is. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. None. If you don't think he's a playmaker, I don't know what your definition of one is. Because he takes the ball, they double team him. They only double team playmakers. They don't double team guys who aren't making plays. He is the playmaker of our team. He is the guy that makes our engine go. As he starts making plays and starts making shots, then what he does is he kicks it to everybody else in order for them to make a play, as in making a three, going to the basket and finishing in space because they're trying to rotate on defense and you're kicking it to the next guy to shoot a wide open three. But it all starts with your playmaker, who is all NBA. All NBA players, SGA, playmaker. Luka, playmaker. Jokic, playmaker. Jason Tatum, playmaker. Giannis, playmaker. Those guys are playmakers. I don't know please explain to me what the hell a playmaker is in your mind. Because I know I was a playmaker, and a playmaker makes plays. He makes it easier for everybody else to do what they do. That's a playmaker. And SGA is the most unguardable guy in the NBA, without question. I don't think he's one of the top 2 or 3. There's not even a question. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Him, Luka, Kyrie.
Jokic, Kyrie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was naming off those guys. The all NBA guys are all playmakers. They make plays to make everybody else's job easier. When SGA is not on the floor, and then you're forcing everybody else to make plays, that's when the Thunder are in trouble, Nick and Jeremy. That's what a playmaker does.
If you don't believe us, go watch the film. Go watch how hard it is for the Thunder to score when SGA is on the bench.
It's just he is the guy that makes he is the engine that makes the engine go. That's what he is. Let me see. I'm talking about more from a Chris Paul today's and what you're explaining are all from ISO ball. Okay. You want to answer that, Nathan?
It's not all ISO ball. It's not all ISO ball. I mean, that's how we work.
Okay.
Like, he gets the ball, he goes to work, and the other guys spread out, and we have a crazy amount of assists. That's how it works. We move the ball, but it all starts with him.
Nick saying a playmaker doesn't always have the ball. Yes, he does. He's the one. A playmaker is okay. Nick, I don't know your background in basketball. I don't know what you did. I don't know what your stats. I don't know anything. I don't know who you are. All I'm saying, I'm going to say this in the nicest way I could possibly say it without trying to make you less or whatever, think less. I was a playmaker. When I left OSU, I was second all-time leading scorer, first all-time in steals, first all-time in assists for season and career. That's a playmaker. I had the ball in my hands. As a playmaker, Chris Paul is a playmaker. Chris Paul is more of a point guard than he is a playmaker. He's more of a quarterback than he is a guy who makes plays. That's the difference.
You're saying, I hear what you're saying. A playmaker is not just an assist guy.
Right.
A playmaker is a guy who can assist and score.
Right. He's a playmaker. He makes plays. A playmaker is a guy who makes plays, whether that's assisting
and it's not,
or whether that's scoring or whatever that is. That's a playmaker. That's all we're saying.
It's not just a guy who can go.
Right.
He's not just a guy who can go get his own shot.
But all we're saying on this particular team, when he starts making shots, and then when they start double teaming him like he did tonight, he was doing a great job of catching. Let me say, he's a scorer. He averaged 5 assists a game. Okay, what we're trying to say is he's making plays. He's not a point guard. Like Steph Curry, they're talking about he's the greatest point guard. Steph Curry's not a point guard. Magic Johnson was a point guard. John Stockton, those are point guards. Isaiah Thomas, that's a point guard. Steph Curry is not a point guard. Steph Curry's a playmaker. In today's games, playmakers are guys who score. Back in the day, playmakers were your point guard who set everybody else up to make plays. That's the difference. In today's game, a playmaker is a scorer who does assists. Now he's averaging 5 assists a game, but it's the assist that how he sets everybody else up to make plays. When he starts scoring, like for example, last year in the Dallas game, in Game 4, as he started scoring, it made it easier for everybody else to make plays because they started doubling teaming him just like tonight, and we gave it to Isaiah Hartenstein. How many points did he score at the top of the kid's free throw line? And that used to be Josh's job. Right? So that's what I'm saying, Jeremy and Nick. That's what I'm saying. You guys are looking at it completely different than I am. I'm looking at it as a playmaker in today's game is a guy who scores and yet sets everybody else up. Back in the day, a playmaker was a Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a throwback of point guard, where he sets everybody else up and then he scores second. Because Magic Johnson, if he needed to score, he could score. And what was it Kevin McHale said one time? The best 2 players in the league were Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And the reason why, they were the only 2 guys could score 17 points in the game and completely control the outcome of the game. Michael Jordan had to score 30 to control the outcome of a game. Allen Iverson had to have 30. So that's the difference in what you guys are saying. And that's what I'm saying. I agree, Nick. But what I'm trying to say is he's saying that's why he said that he opens up the offense more. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying in today's game, playmakers are more of a Steph Curry and an SGA and a Luka. In today's game.
By the way, SGA is averaging a career high this year in assists. So
How many
Um,
assists is he averaging?
6.3 assists last year of 6.2.
Okay, he's averaging
So
He's averaging 28 points a game and 6 assists.
yeah,
So that's accounting for what? Let's say 20 points because it counted threes.
last year, dude, what 50% from the floor, 90 from the free throw line, and 6.2 assists a game.
Yeah.
That's not a playmaker.
Yeah.
Tell me who is.
Okay, okay, Nick. I see what you're saying now, Nick, and that's what I'm saying is that in today's game, playmakers aren't Chris Paul. That's old school playmaker. That's when I played. Because I was a playmaker who could still score. And nowadays, playmakers are guys who score and also set everything else, like Steph Curry, SGA, Luka, Kyrie.
Do I hear you saying you were ahead of your time? Is that what I hear you
No,
saying?
I'm not saying that. That's just the way I played. I was a scorer who was forced to play point guard. Okay, I was used to them giving me the ball and let me do my thing, and then I had to, when they started double, triple teaming me, they had to put me at point guard for me to do it because when Randy was the point guard, he would make the play and give it to me and I'd finish. He would start the play, I would finish the play. If that makes sense.
As much as you don't like him, and I don't particularly disagree with you a whole lot. Russell was kind of the first, not the first of his kind, but kind of what you're talking about. He made plays for other people, but he also scored.
Yes. Okay, Nathan.
So
there's Alex. They're saying that they agree with Nick. Alex says, hopefully they will scheme more through iHeart. Imagine Chet and iHeart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's gonna be crazy.
No, he's saying that we need to go through them.
Oh no.
I understand that's what you're saying. I'm laughing at that. You're not going to win going through iHeart and Chet. That's not going to happen. You're not going to win shit.
No.
You're not. You're just not. You're not. The ball, everything has to go through SGA to everybody else. He has to be the playmaker. He has to be the one who said when he starts rolling, it releases everybody else in order for them not to try to make a play. That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand what everybody's apprehension is. Like, what are you guys seeing that we're not? Because go back and look. Just watch the game.
Yeah,
watch the game.
Listen. The whole thing is this: SGA is the playmaker for the Thunder. Everything has to go through him. If it goes through him, we're successful. If it doesn't, we're not. It's that simple. Luka, everything has to go through Dallas. It has to go through him, or you're not going to win. Everybody else needs to be role players. Nothing needs to go through Chet. Nothing needs to go through iHeart. Now, what iHeart is the part. He's part of a piston of the engine. He runs at the top of the key, and that's what the good thing about him. And I love is he's at the top of the key. He's not clogging up the middle like Kendrick Perkins used to do because we are the number one driving team to get to the basket. So if you have your center down low, he ain't gonna do nothing. What does Jokic do? He's at the top of the key, running everything runs through him.
Yep.
If you try to run everything through iHeart and Chet, you ain't going to win jack shit. I can promise you that. Neither one of them are scorers. Neither one of them are playmakers. Those are guys who makes plays off of the playmaker. They don't generate the play. And if you try to go through them to generate play, the Thunder is not going to be the number one seed. I can promise you that. It ain't going to happen. No way. No way.
Chet can't get his own shot. There's no way Chet can get his own shot. No way. He can't dribble.
Okay, Alex, no, what I'm trying to say is, Alex says we are saying the same thing. That's what I mean by SJ pick and roll with SJ passes. Yes, but what we're saying is that Nick and Alex, yes, what I'm trying to explain to y'all is what I'm trying to say is, yes, we're both correct, kinda. But SGA is the playmaker. He is the man. And the ball has to go through him. And then I do love when iHeart sets that high screen for him or J-Dub or even A.J. Mitchell. I like it when he sets that high screen and they come off ready to score. When they come, they both be able to facilitate him. And he's got that nice little floater from 8 to 10 feet. I love that play.
I think what they're trying to say maybe is maybe we need to run those two as a secondary playmaker is kind of maybe what they're thinking.
Right. What I'm saying is that we're both right. So what they're saying is that they're trying to say that iHeart and Chet are the playmakers. SGA is the playmaker. He is the guy. Everybody else are extensions off of him. And as he goes, everybody else then can score and make plays. Because what we get in trouble is when SGA is not rolling, you got J-Dub trying to make a play, turnover. Dort trying to make a play, turnover. iHeart and Chet trying to make a play, turnover. iHeart does not try to make plays. What iHeart does, I'm gonna screen and then I'm gonna try to make a pass to somebody, or I'm gonna take the pick and roll and run and do a nice little floater or a dunk on a alley oop. That's what iHeart. He knows what his role is. My role is to set screens, to make passes,
Very well.
to play defense, to get offensive rebounds and get defense. That's his role.
You couldn't have got two more acquisitions in the offseason that know. There's probably not two guys in the NBA that know their roles better than Caruso and iHeart, in my opinion.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's what I'm saying. But guys, yeah, go ahead, Nathan. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, go back and look. I mean, just watch the game. What happens when everybody else on this team tries to dribble and get their own shot?
It doesn't work out well.
It is right there.
Doesn't work out well.
I mean, Lou Dort hits the back. He either hits the bottom of the rim or throws it out of bounds.
Yes.
Isaiah Joe turns it over. J-Dub misses a shot or turns it over. Chet turns it over. iHeart, I don't know because I hadn't watched him well.
He doesn't try to.
Yet,
he doesn't try to do none of that.
He doesn't stay in your lane, dude. Just stay in your lane. That's as easy as I can say it.
I agree with what Nick and I agree with what you and Alex are trying to say in an outside part. But as a player, what you want is everything running through SGA. When he has the ball in the last 4 or 5 minutes, I want him bringing the ball up the court every damn time. I don't want nobody else bringing the ball up the court the last 4 minutes of a game. Kind of like tonight. He brings the ball up, then he makes a decision. If you double team him, then you kick it to, which was Josh in the past couple years at the free throw line. When they double team SGA, take the ball out of his hands, he'd make the entry pass. All of a sudden, we now have a 4-on-3. And Josh always makes decisions. Now, what I like about iHeart can now play that position. Now, the game we lost against the Spurs, you had Dylan Jones. Really? What, Dylan Jones trying to make a play? No, he ain't ready. And, Wiggins, not ready. Jones, not ready. Jang, not ready. J-Dub, yes, but you want J-Dub on the wing. Who else do we have in there? K-Rich, not ready. Caruso could make the play. But remember, and then, of course, iHeart was hurt. So you want to make sure who you have to catch that ball at the free throw line because that was Josh's responsibility. And we just killed people 3 years ago. We killed them. Double team SJ hit Josh. Josh would either make the layup, make his little teardrop, or kick it to somebody making a three, either Isaiah Joe or Dort or somebody making a three. That's why we were successful. Because they realized that if you have the right lineup in there, you double team SGA, we're going to 4-on-3. We're gonna make it work. We're going to score. So that's. Well,
how many times? I mean, tonight's game. How many times did you see him come up the floor? SGA gets double teamed. I mean, at least a dozen times. Yeah. I saw, and then he passes that right through to iHeart, and there we go around the circle and we score.
Dude, yeah, Alex I was saying, imagine Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. playing a pick and roll. Well, they don't do the pick and roll because Michael Porter Jr. is a shooter. He's not a scorer. That's why they don't put him in the pick and roll. That's why it's always Murray and Jokic in the pick and roll. Michael Porter Jr. is a straight up shooter. He's not a scorer. He's a straight up shooter. Nick says, to be honest, SGA's biggest downfall is when he takes forced threes. Yes, we've been saying that all year, Nick.
100%.
We've been saying it all year.
Downfall of this game.
Yeah, because what we're trying to. Nick says, don't get him started on Jang.
Oh God.
We won't. Okay, we won't get you started on Jang.
We said.
Or Dylan Jones or DJ. Maybe he's talking about Dylan Jones.
God.
Dylan Jones. He's just not ready, Nick. He's not ready.
I'd rather have Dylan Jones than Jang.
Yeah, I'd rather have Dylan Jones than Jang. I'd rather have either one. But I'm gonna say this. Our biggest thing, what we're saying about SGA is the part of his game that's lacking is his 3-point game, his 3-point shot. Yeah, when he gets that 3-point shot down, and he's at what 33, and he was at what
30,
Nathan?
33.
What was he at? 18, 17,
awful.
And now he's up, and he's slowly climbing up. Okay, and once again, that's where he needs to be. Oh, Nick goes both, Dylan Jones and Jang. We agree. But so I'm agreeing with you, Nick, about SGA. SGA is a pure scorer. who's trying to morph into a scorer / shooter, which is what James Harden is. Steph Curry is a shooter who's a scorer. So SJ is not that. So he's going to have to morph into what James Harden does, and that's be able to score off the bounce and be able to knock down a three. And he is getting better at it, but we don't want him shooting. What did we say, Nathan? 5 threes? And that what we said? We want him shooting no more shooting 4 to 5 threes?
Why are you trying to change the guy when he's an MVP?
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
Like, let him shoot his 2-pointers, man. It's fine.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with SJ is he's understanding that he's taken such a beating. But what I think he should do is do what Jordan did. What did Jordan do, Nathan? He went and got in the gym and got stronger. That's what he did. He goes, I'm going to take this. If I'm going to go to the bottom, I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get physically stronger so that I can take the punishment and I can dish out some. And then he was also knocking down the threes late in his career. And I think that SGA will eventually morph into a scorer who can also shoot the three, kind of like what James Harden is. He won't be as great as James Harden.
That's the evolution. That's the evolution of a basketball player, too. I mean, as you get older, you turn into more of a shooter than you do a driver because of the toll it takes on your body.
Because your body. And I can tell you this, when I got hurt, when I got drafted by the Jazz, and then I got hurt, man, I had to take those 6 months off or whatever. Dude, it was so nice. It was so nice waking up, man, and your body wasn't hurting, man. It was so. Dude, I can't explain to you how nice it was.
We're looking at, and again, I'm not a historical guy like you are with the NBA, but I think we're probably looking at the evolution of one of the greatest to ever do it right now.
If he continues, but the whole my deal with LeBron is, like I saw this deal that, let me see. I think the league pushes threes because Wemby's shooting threes as well. I agree, Nick. That's part of the downfall, I think, of the NBA right now, is because of that. Nathan, I was going to do this deal that I saw today, talking about the difference between Michael Jordan and LeBron. And so I put this down, and this is just crazy to me. It says, this is why Jordan was better than LeBron. He's a 9-time first-team all-defensive team. He was defensive. Remember, he's still the only guy who won the MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP of the finals. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, and the MVP. That's just that's insane.
That's crazy.
That's insane. To me, that's just an insane stat. And then he went 9 seasons where he played every game. 9 seasons, he played 82 games. 9 seasons. LeBron has never played 92 games, ever.
No,
ever.
No.
And then,
you think about LeBron, when LeBron came into the league, dude. He's a horrible shooter. He's horrible.
Yeah. How about this? Michael Jordan is 119-60 in the playoffs.
That's pretty good.
He doubled all of his losses. He doubled his losses. And remember, he lost most of those when? Early. When he couldn't beat the Celtics and he couldn't beat the Pistons.
Yeah,
because everybody talks about that. Everybody doesn't remember. The Pistons didn't make it until the Celtics got old. The Celtics had to wait for the 76ers to get old. Then the Celtics started beating them. And then when the Celtics got old, then the Pistons started beating them. And when the Pistons got old, then the Chicago Bulls started beating them. Everybody forgets. That's what happened. It ain't like that's what happened. The Sixers were with Dr. J and them. They were getting beat by the Lakers. They couldn't. They finally got Moses Malone, and then that team was insane. But with Maurice Cheeks, Andrew Toney, Jones, Dr. J, and Moses Malone, it was just insane team. Let me see. SGA misses those threes. It's hurting his case for MVP. No, Rashawn, that's not true. If he averages 29, 30 points a game, and he's where he was, and then we're first in the Western Conference, and we have enough TV games. So, but the thing is, the playoffs helped SGA now. It hurt him last year. I believe he'd have won the MVP last year, as Nathan and I said, if he'd have played against Philadelphia, if he'd have played against Boston, and he played against Indiana in that four game swing. Because remember, he hit the jump shot to beat the Knicks. So if he'd have went through that swing, that 4-game swing, and played all of them, I think he would have been the MVP. That's because he just missed those games. Now we're on 15 times, so everybody gets to see us, and now it's just everybody know. After the playoffs last year, everybody's like, "Oh my God, this dude is ridiculous," and he is. But as he goes, the Thunder go. That's why I say he is our playmaker. Chris Paul is just a different beast of a guy. That's why when you look at, let me see, where is this at? Let me pull this up real quick, Nathan. When you pull up the standings, okay, where's my NBA standings? Let me see, where did I put that? Where's my standings at, Nate?
Good question.
Oh, come on, guys. I know I have my standings in here somewhere. I've got all the Thunder, everything, and I don't have I know I have my NBA standings because I have it in my, I have it for my,
You want me to give them to you right quick?
yeah. Oh, here it is. I have the NBA standings. Okay, here it is. Okay. The standings right now, actually, they're not like this because the Thunder we're now in first place because the Warriors lost tonight. So the Thunder are now 13-4. And
give you up to date.
Yeah, the Thunder are 13-4, and the Warriors are 12-5.
Yes.
So that's where it's
Houston, man, in the third spot at 12.
I told
6.
you.
Man,
I told you.
good.
I told you. What did I say at the beginning of the year? Houston is a team that scares me.
Yep. They're good.
Yeah. But anyway, yes, he's already the most. I mean, I think that everybody. Jokic's season stats this year, though. Oh my God. Oh my God.
He's averaging what? He's averaging a triple double.
Yeah,
right?
he basically is. He is, and he's not a fake triple double like Russell's. It's a real one.
No.
Okay, it's a real one. It ain't a fake one like Russell's. Okay, like what the Thunder gave Russell to do that. And I'm just saying, Nick, I agree. Well, I think that, yes, I agree with Nick. He's saying he's falling out. If the Denver's falling out of the playoffs, and that's his kryptonite, right? Remember, he did win his first MVP when they were 5th. And my thing is this: the first MVP, he should not have won. That should have went to Giannis for his 3rd MVP. The second MVP he won, that should have went to Joel Embiid. The last MVP, the 3rd one that he lost, that one should have went to him. That Embiid won, that one should have went to Jokic. The year before that, that should have went to MVP and Joel Embiid. The year before that, that should have went to Giannis. And then last year, that one, if SGA, yeah. Okay, Magic City says.
Listen to this.
Magic City says Houston hasn't played anybody.
Yeah, it could be true. I don't know. I hadn't watched. So, listen to this, dude. Listen to Jokic's averages: 30.3 points, 13.9 rebounds, and 11.3 assists.
Yeah, it's insane.
56%.
Okay.
57% from the field. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is who the Rockets have played. They beat the Grizzlies. They lost to the Spurs. Then they came back and beat the Spurs. They beat the Mavericks. They lost to the Warriors. They beat the Knicks. They lost to us. They beat the Pistons.
Good schedule.
They beat the Wizards. They beat the Clippers twice. They beat the Clippers twice. They smashed the the Bulls. They lost to the Bucks by 1. They smashed the Pacers. They beat the Trailblazers. And then they turned around and lost to the Trailblazers.
Better strength of schedule than I think we have.
Yeah. So they played a pretty good schedule. They played a pretty good schedule. But that being said, the Thunder our schedule's been tougher than that, Nathan. I mean, god dang.
Has it?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. We've had 4 back-to-backs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you only have 5. The thing is this, the Thunder
We've already had 4 of our 5 back-to-backs
Yes,
for the whole year.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're
Wow.
getting all of that stuff out of the way early. So by the time the end of the year comes, while these teams are playing back-to-backs and resting players, we don't have to worry about that because we've already gone past that. And this is my thing. When Chet comes back, we'll have 28. I think it's 28 games, or 27 or 28 games we'll have left in the season. And if we go 20-5, 22 or 23-5, or 22-6, or 21-7, or 20, something like that, we'll win the West. And SGA will be the MVP.
Sure. Yep.
Because I believe,
Gotta get-
yes, Magic City says, or the Magic Mitchie, sorry about that, Magic Mitchie says he sees Houston deflating in the near future. I don't see them deflating because, number one, this is the second year under their coach, Ime Udoka. This is their second year under him, number one. Number two, they've got a point guard and they've got athletic guys who can play defense all over the damn place. And the center is not bad either. So they've got some players.
Gosh,
I don't
that's
see.
good.
I see them 5 or 6. I don't see them, top 1, 2, or 3. But I see them 4, 5, or 6 easily. I don't see them dropping too far past. I don't see them as a play-in team because they're gonna. Because what?
I mean, they're a year behind us.
Yeah, they're a year behind
their
us.
Trajectory is
Yes.
just like us, but
Yeah.
except for they don't have a superstar.
Yes, 100%. They don't have that yet. Well, they do. Jalen Green is, but he's not SGA.
He's not. No.
And
Jalen Green.
the difference is we have an All NBA player, and this is going to be SGA's 3rd straight first team All NBA. And
Hey,
remember,
who's better than Jalen Green
who?
by far? Jalen Brown, for sure.
Oh my God! I will take Jalen Brown over Jalen Green. Yes, 100%.
I will
agree.
too.
I agree. But I'm gonna say this right now. When you look at what the Thunder are doing, and you look at what Houston's doing, and you look at the trajectory, the thing that we're missing most is a coach. That's our weak spot. And I've said this before. My problem with our coach is, and what Boston did is, and you guys can go back and verify this, and you can check it and see if I'm right. When he got out-coached against Miami 2 years ago, last year, what did they do? They added 2 veteran coaches to his staff so he doesn't make the same mistakes that he made the year before. And they won the championship with it. And then Jeff Van Gundy is now in where? L.A. with the Clippers. And the Clippers are slowly creeping up.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Christie ain't doing that, man. Unfortunately, he ain't doing that.
yeah. Magic Mitchie says he sees them as a possible play-in team. I think they're better than that, Mitchie.
They were almost a playing team last year.
Yeah, Houston almost was. I think they, like Nathan said, they're a year behind us. But the problem is they don't have an SGA, they don't have a Chet, and they don't have a J-Dub. And now they don't have a Caruso and they don't have an iHeart. And they still don't have Kaysen.
They got a bunch of good players.
They got a bunch of athletic. They got a bunch of athletes. That's what they have.
Yeah, they just don't have a really good number 1, 2 guy.
They don't have the number 1, 2 guy. And Amen Thompson, he gives SGA all kinds of fits.
Oh,
He gives that because he's
Yeah, but
6'7", 6'8", and he played. That's what his job is. He plays defense.
they got Dort. They definitely have Dort.
No, we have Dortcher Chamber.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying they have a Dort.
Oh, yes, they have a Dort. Yes,
Yeah.
they do. Yes, they do. And
They
Amen
have a
Thompson,
Dort.
100%. But I like the Thunder. This is me. This is where the Thunder are. We are young. We're athletic. We're seasoned. And I said this all of last year. Nathan can testify to this. I was saying last year the Thunder administration didn't think we were going to win. I had been saying that all year. That the problem is they look at us. We were, they're talking about, oh, they're a young team. I'm like, do you know how many games that we played the year before when nobody was at the games? I was there. I was there watching.
Yeah.
We played a lot of games.
17.
Yeah, we played a lot of
17.
games. Well, what I'm saying is, that was 3 years ago. 2 years ago, we won 40. I was watching.
We were 17. We won 17 games where we came from behind more than 10 points.
Yes. And I was telling people, I said, look, we know how to win. Why? Because you've got the best closer in the league in SGA. And we play Great defense. So we know how to defend, and then he closes the door.
Oh.
That's why I was like, y'all are crazy about what y'all think the Thunder are. You're high. We know how to win close games. Put the ball in SJ's hands at the end of the game. That ends that. He shot 61%, guys, last year.
Yeah, last year we were league leader in what wins under one possession or something like that.
Yes.
Or 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years
one
ago.
of the years.
2 years ago. Let me see. Magic City says, I think Houston is missing an elite playmaker that can put pressure on driving to the basket. That's kind of Jalen Green. That's kind of him. Houston's strengths over the Thunder are the coach and the bench. The Houston's strength over us is the coach, not the bench. We have the bench. We have them over the bench.
Strength was the coach of the bench.
Yeah, we have the coach. The coach, yes. The bench, no. Not the coach, man. I disagree. I'm gonna say this, Magic. Okay, this is what we're talking about. The coach. He has four fatal flaws. One, he doesn't understand lineups, and if you watch enough basketball, you know there's no disputing that at all. Number two, he doesn't understand floor of the game because every time they put in their best player, he keeps SGA on the bench. Because number three weakness is his minutes management. Okay, those are his 3, 4, and the fourth one is. He is a guy who is going to stick with what he believes instead of going with the flow of changing it to what needs to happen. We're not a team-oriented deal, which is what Presti and them want. They want a team where everybody's you're not going to win like that. You've got a once-in-a-generational player. You lost the other one you had in KD for Russell Westbrook, which was a joke. You picked Russell Westbrook over Kevin Durant, which is idiotic. And it cost you. Now you're trying to bring up a guy who is your third player. It's SGA 1, Chet 2A, and J-Dub either 2B or 3. Now, Nathan says he's a 3. I'm 2B3. I'm 2B3. That's exactly what that's exactly what Charles Barkley said and exactly what Shaq said. We all agree. We love J-Dub, but he ain't a number 1. He's barely a 2.
2B3.
He's a 2B3. That's what he is. Chet is your 2.
No, he's 2B a 3.
Yes, 2B a 3. He says, Nathan, you were talking about Dylan Brooks being the version of Dort. No, he was talking about Amen. He was talking about Amen Thompson.
Dylan. Yeah,
he was talking about Amen. He was talking about Amen Thompson or Answer Thompson, whichever one it is.
Dylan Brooks is a joke, man.
We're not talking about him, Alex. No, he was talking about Amen Thompson. That's what we're talking about, or Answer, whichever the one plays for. One of them plays for Detroit, and the other plays for Houston. So whichever one, the one from Detroit is the actual scorer guy. The one from Houston is the defensive guy. But anyway, yeah, Mitchie, our weakness is our coach. But Mitchie says, I hear you, but I got to agree with your take, OG. I would love to debate, but I'm not trying to type it out here. I hear you. Okay, Mitchie, but what I'm saying, Mitchie, all I'm saying is this. This are my points that are indisputable. He doesn't understand lineups. And if you watch the lineups we have that he's playing, that there's no argument. None. If you know anything about basketball, there's no argument about that. And then, no, it just depends. He says it just depends on my vision of the game. I don't understand what your vision of the game is then. I mean, this is the thing, okay? This is all I'm going to say, Magic Mitchie. The 2 games we lost, our best lineups have been SGA, K when you went small because we didn't have iHeart and we didn't have Chet. So your best lineups were SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, and Wiggins. Now, in the game that we lost, okay, you can come and debate me, Mitchie. Just let me give my argument here. I mean, I'm giving you my argument. You tell me where I'm wrong. The 2 games we lost to Denver, and we lost to the Warriors. Third quarter and the second quarter in the 2 different games. He took SGA out, and the lineups he had in there were not the right lineups. And then when the teams made their run, he put in. We can do 1 versus 1, Mitchie. We can. This is what he did, Mitchie. He then put in the exact lineup that I just said when they went on their run. Twice. In both those games. So what that says is he understands what lineup is his best 5. because you always put your lineup as a coach. When a run happens, what do? You put in your best 5 to stop the lineup. So we know that he knows that because he did it twice. The lineups that Nathan and I have been talking about, right, Nathan? We've been talking about it.
All
Okay.
last year too.
And all last year without Caruso, though. So he knows what the lineup is, okay? But he refuses to play it because they're trying to develop J-Dub. So he's putting all these lineups and we're like, look, dude, we're trying to win. You're wasting possessions, okay? That's all I'm saying. So those two things, and the second thing is this. Flow of the game. Whenever we put SJ in the game with, was it 9 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the opposing team automatically puts in their best player every single time. Our coach, when their best player gets in the game, he sits SGA until the 5 or 6 minute mark because he's a minutes manager and he wants to manage those minutes. Now, every other team, soon as we put SJ in there, they immediately put in their best. They put in their best player to counteract him. We don't do that. That's coaching. That's coaching. There's no disputing either one of those facts that I've said to you. There's no argument you can give me that says that that's wrong because those are facts. There's no argument to that. And if you know anything about basketball, you can't argue either one of those because those things are just all you got to do is watch. He's been doing it for 3 years. And it drives me crazy. And every time we lose to a team that is a 50-50 game, okay, let me explain this. And Nathan and I talked about this. There's a 50-50 games. 50-50 games are the games that you can win or lose. Like tonight, 50-50 game.
Yep.
Okay?
100%.
Wednesday, 50-50 game. Friday, 60-40. We're 40, the Lakers, because we don't match up with them at all. Until Chet gets back and Jay Will gets back. We don't match up with them. And then the Rockets, we're just better than them. But when you play the wrong lineups and you let a team get a run, they get going, which happened in the 50-50 games. The 2 games we lost against the Nuggets and the Warriors. Because those are 50-50 games and you play the wrong lineups, you lose. Because you can't give away possessions. You can't give away possessions.
I mean, what we're saying, all we're saying is,
okay, listen. Wait, hold on, Nathan.
50-50 game.
Go ahead, Nathan.
When you're in a 50-50 game, Dylan Jones, Jang, all those other guys, they don't need to touch the floor, and they do.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time.
Okay. Here's his comment back to us, Nathan. He says, "I see Mark as a crazy scientist who likes to experiment during regular season." I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but it's clear who the hell can play and who can't. Mitchie.
You already know that. I mean,
and Mark, and then Mark.
Okay, do that with AJ Mitchell this year. That's what we're saying. We're not saying you can't do it. Just don't do it with a whole 5-guy lineup.
And I agree, Magic. He does. He's elite at out of bounds plays with the right guy throwing the ball in 100%. His strengths are out of bounds plays and building and helping young kids develop. Those are his 2 attributes. Those are his 2 strengths. 100%. I'm not going to even. That's not even up for debatable to me.
Would I be correct in saying he's a great X's and O's coach? He's just not a great flow of the game coach, I guess would be the right term.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he's a great analytical guy, but when it comes to the eye test, he has no idea what he's doing.
Yes, that's what we're saying now. And I understand what you're saying, Mitchie, about him trying to do that. But okay, Rashawn says this. Nick says this. He also likes to hide strong suits until the playoffs. But he didn't do that in the playoffs, which is what Rashawn just said, Nick. He didn't do that. He didn't play. Okay, in the Dallas Game 6, which is what Nick is bringing up, or Rashawn's bringing up. Game 6, we made 2 runs with J-Dub on the bench. You had SGA, you had Kaysen, you had Wiggins, you had Chet, and you had Dort. You made your run twice with J-Dub on the bench. Twice. Not once, twice. And in the fourth quarter, When they made their run at us, you kept J-Dub in the game the whole game, and it cost us. To me, you need a veteran coach on the thing. He's 100% experimenting. I agree with all what y'all saying but when you're trying to win, what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is you can't give away possessions. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. By having the wrong lineups in there, you get number one.
You can't play 12 guys.
You can't. But the number one, this is the thing. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all about possessions. You give away possessions, it does what? Against Denver, it did what? They got on a roll because you got the wrong guys out there. And when teams get on a roll in the NBA, you're in trouble in a 50-50 game. Golden State, same thing. You can't play those guys. Listen, you can't experiment, Magic Mike, Magic Mitchie. There's no experiment. You know what the hell your players are. You know what your team is. What you want to do is you want to get everybody in a routine of understanding this is when you play. SGA, you play the first quarter and third quarter. J-Dub, you play until the 6 minutes ago in the second quarter. We bring in SGA. We sit you for a couple minutes. We bring you back in the last minute of the game. That lineup works. Then what is my first five when we're going against their second five? That's SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and going to be iHeart. You know what the hell your five are. You've already experimented. You know what you're doing. You develop one player at a time, and that is who? A.J. Mitchell. Not Dylan Jones. He's Jang. He's not there. And there's no way in hell you guys can sit there and look at me and tell me either one of those guys are ready. They ain't ready. So in order to win, we are second to Boston. Okay? As far as multi-talented bench deepness. But what does Boston do? They have a routine. You play here, you play here, you play here. These are your minutes. This is your rotation. You build that rotation and you develop it throughout the year, the same rotation, so that everybody gets into a groove. So when the end of the season comes, you know what to do, what you're playing, and you have a routine. If you mess up that routine and break it up, it is hard to get it back. It's hard to get in it. So him being experimenting, that's what's getting the Thunder in trouble. And Mitchie, what happened last year to the Denver Nuggets? What happened to them, Nathan? They lost what?
They lost the game. I'm sorry, man. You caught me off guard.
They lost the game to the Spurs.
They lost that game late. Yeah,
and then what did they do?
Right.
And they gave away the game against us. Remember when Jokic didn't play the fourth time we played him? Those are two games they gave away. And you can't give away games, guys, by experimenting. Okay? You can't give away games by experimenting. It comes down to that, guys. And you're talking about the playoffs. So am I. But I'm trying to say you know who can play. We're what? This is what, 15, 16 games? Hell, I knew that, Nathan, and I knew that in game 4. Okay, this guy can't play. He ain't ready. I get all that. We got hurt, so you got to experiment and go small. Okay. But this is my thing. Lineups matter. Flow of the game matters. And when you're playing 50-50 teams, you can't play all these guys because of the simple fact that good teams get on a roll and they get into the flow of the game, you're in trouble. And you can't afford to give away games. That is my whole premise. I don't want to give away games because you're going to lose games just by attrition and just because you're going to lose some games here and there. You can't give away games because that's going to come back to haunt you at the end of the year. That is my whole premise. I understand what you guys are saying. Okay? All I'm saying is if you want to win the chip, you got to do what Boston does. This is Boston's deal. He plays here, he plays here, he plays here, he plays here. But you're talking about you like the great experimental guy. What the hell are you experimenting for? We know who's going to play where. You playing here, you playing here, you playing here. Let's get into a groove. Let's get our guys together. The more you play together, the more you do what? The more of a cohesive unit you have because you play together enough. And when you don't play together enough, what ends up happening? Go ahead, Nathan.
Here's another thing that Boston does that we don't do. Everybody knows where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. Right?
Right.
They know where they get their minutes. They know where they take their shots. They know what their roles are, and they know exactly what to do. That's why they're a better team than we are, because they've been coached that way.
Right. Okay. Magic Mitchie says the proof is in the pudding, though. His style works. No, it doesn't. He cost us against Dallas. He cost us, brother, because of his style. His style cost us. And you have zero knowledge about basketball if you don't think what he did, his coaching style cost us. And all I'm trying to explain to you, Boston's coach did the exact same thing against Miami. And what did Brad Stevens do? He hired 2 coaches to help the guy not make the same mistakes. That's what he did. The Thunder did not do that. And I'm telling you, this guy's experimentation, which is exactly what you're saying, costs you in big moments because he doesn't understand lineups, flow of the game, and he's a minutes manager. And it's going to cost you this year, next year, or whenever because he doesn't get it. And that's a fact. We lost against a good Mavs team last year in a heck of a season. Mitchie, we're not disputing that. What we're saying is the reason why we lost to them was the reasons that I am saying right now. That is my whole premise.
You play the right guys in that series.
You play the right guys, you win. It's that simple. And
that's not starting Isaiah Joe in Game 5. That was the stupidest thing ever.
You started Isaiah Joe in Game 5, cost you. And then in Game 4, what did SGA do? Everybody forgets. SGA said what? Let me see. I think we see the ball differently, but I respect your take. 100% we disagree. I agree. I agree with you. And there's nothing wrong with your take. But I'm saying as a person who wins and who has won and who's played at the highest that you could possibly play, this is how you win. As a coach who this is how you win. This is how you lose. And if you want to know, all you got to do is pay attention. And I can tell you, anybody who listens to our show and who pays attention to what we're saying, and then they go back and they watch it, you will go, oh, wow, he's right. We're right. Nathan had the same argument you had, Magic Mitchie. And then in 1 year, this last year, he's like, damn, you're right, Matt. Am I wrong, Nathan?
Yeah, you took some of my fandom away from me, to be honest with you, Matt. But that's okay.
Oh, thanks. But I'm just saying, Mitchie, I understand. We understand what you're saying. But all Nathan and I are saying is, I'm trying to teach you the little intricacies of basketball, the little bitty things as a novice and most people don't see. I'm trying to teach that to y'all. This is what's happening. So you get a better, okay, this is the deal. When Sam Presti said that SGA is not a two-way player, there was no pushback on that. If you lived in Philly, Mitchie, I don't know who I would like to see the Thunder. What I'm saying is give me some veterans who will tell this guy, hey, you can't play this guy. Hey, they just brought their best player, put SGA in. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind him because go ahead, Nathan.
You can backtrack in the organization and see that he knows that because what did they do when they hired Billy Donovan? Unproven coach, right? What did they do? They hired what was the guy from Phoenix? Monty Williams.
Monty
Williams, and who was
they had
the other guy?
They had Maurice Cheeks.
Yes. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do it. That's the thing.
This is what I said about Sam Presti. What he did is when we weren't trying to win, we were just getting by and developing draft picks, okay? This was, 2021, I think? 21, 22? I think that's when it was.
2021.
Yeah.
21.
When that happened, what he did is he hired Mark because Mark is a developmental coach. And what did he do? He developed the players. 100%. Then once after that first year when we won the 17 games and we were winning and we tried to lose games, remember? We won the last 5 and he set SGA and Josh, and remember? And we ended up winning 5 of our last or something stupid. And we ended up being just outside.
Man.
Remember? Just outside. And so then we ended up getting Chet that year. Anyway, we got lucky. All I'm saying is what the guy was doing is once that happened, I started watching the games, and I was at the games, and I'm saying, oh, man, we got a squad here. We got Josh. We got SGA. They're developing this thing. And then the Thunder were supposed to win 23 games. I am the only person that came out and said the Thunder were going to win 40 games 2 years ago. Everybody thought I was out of my damn mind. I said, listen, this is why. Blah, 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 blah. This is what I said. And everybody told me I was out of my damn mind. And what did the Thunder win? 40 games. Because what I'm looking at and what other people are looking at, you're not seeing. I'm looking at it differently than you guys. I'm trying to bring you inside of the game of basketball, the little things that matter. The little details that you as a regular fan don't see, as Nathan didn't. And Nathan, like he says, I took away his love just to be able to enjoy the game because now he's sitting there looking at us like, well, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
Yeah, right.
That's my world.
Yeah.
And what the hell are you doing? Don't you see that?
You want to know how bad I was, to be honest with you, before I got on the show with you? there were times in I guess it would have been 2021, the first year we were tanking.
Yeah.
I still want us to win just because I didn't really, whatever. But
Yeah.
I always still like to see him win. There were times when I would watch the game and yell at SGA, "Hey, you're dribbling too much. Hey, you're dribbling too much. Pass the ball." How stupid does that sound?
Yeah. Well, but but Sam Presti don't like it. That's what he said in the press conference.
He doesn't.
He doesn't like it. He does not like that. Well, that's why we're winning. Because of that. His game is why we're winning. And all I'm saying this, and I don't, hold on. Magic Mitchie says, let's get him back as assistant coach. I don't want Scott Brooks. I don't want Scott Brooks.
No.
All I'm saying,
guy that started Kendrick Perkins in the finals against Miami, you want that guy?
I don't not want no Scott Brooks, bro. No desire to have him back at all. Zero. And all I'm gonna say this. Here's my last take, and I gotta get out of here. Here's my last take. The Golden State Warriors coach, Mark Jackson, they had 2 seasons where they won 50 games, 2 years back to back, and they fired him.
Yep, because he couldn't take them.
Because he couldn't get them to the next level. I know, man, you're just teasing me. I know I'm having fun with you. But here's the thing. They fired Mark, and we were all like, y'all just won back to back. What are you doing? And they hired Steve Kerr. And what did Steve Kerr do? He took him to the next level.
Yeah, but what also did he do? He hired Ron Adams.
Yep.
And who was the offensive guy? Oh,
they also had the coach Mike. What's his name? That's the coach at
Mike Brown. Yes,
Mike Brown.
That was the guy.
Yeah,
Mike Brown.
He's the coach of them now. Because remember, he went to coach Cleveland and then went to them. So yeah.
Yep.
No, but Mike. Now Scotty now wouldn't play around with rotations. I agree. I don't. But my thing is this, Magic Mitchie. What I'm saying is, when you look at a team like Boston, what they did is they got 2 veteran coaches that said, hey, coach, here's how everything should line up. And then what did he end up doing? They ended up beating and winning the championship. Why? Because he had the right guys assisting a guy who had his limitations. And all I'm saying is for the Thunder, they're still in not trying to win yet mode, to me. Now, what you do, you went out and got iHeart, and you went out and got Caruso. And I'm like, okay, now get us some veteran coaches to help this guy. Because he is fantastic at developing players, and he's fantastic at out-of-bounds plays. He is. He's magnificent at it if you got the right guy throwing the ball in. How many times have we made plays because of his out-of-bounds plays? 100%. And like I said, I'm going to give you credit to what you're good at. But then I'm also going to call you out on what you're bad at. And that's lineups, understanding floor of the game, and managing minutes. Those are the things he's bad at. And it's really lineups and understanding the floor of the game. He doesn't. The Miami game 2 years ago, I'm sitting there screaming, the commander and I were together, Nathan, and we're sitting there screaming, man, what are you doing? Don't you see what they're on a roll? Last year against Philadelphia, he took out Josh Giddey and he had Lou Dort as his ball handler, as his point guard. And they went boom, 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 boom. And within 60 seconds, we were up 5 and down 3. And the game was over. That's my point about understanding floor of the game and lineups. That's in a nutshell. Those 2 games right there says everything you need to know. Just those 2 games. And he did it multiple times. And I don't think he's going to lead us to the listen, I'm patient, but I've been watching this for 3 years, Magic Mitchie. 3 years. 3 years. He's doing the same things. He cost us last year, and if you don't have somebody who can help him understand what needs to be done. All I wanted in the fourth quarter last year, take J-Dub out for a couple minutes and put in your group, because now Dallas is making a run. Put in your 5 to stop the run, just like you did the other 2 times when they made a run in the second and third quarter. Take him out for a couple minutes and then put him back in to close the game out. Take him out. That's all I'm saying. The flow of the game was this. He was determined to do it his way because they weren't trying to win. He's just like you. Oh, we had a great year. Fuck that. I'm trying to win a chip. I want to go down. Well, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go down with all those people down at Scissortail Park.
I'm going.
I know you are.
I'm
going to watch from a distance. I'm going to go to the pool and pay the money to do Sit at the
No,
pool.
I'm going, boy.
I'm gonna sit up
I'm
at the
gonna be right in
pool.
the middle of it
I'm
too.
gonna sit at the pool over at the Omni, and I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna be that idiot that you pro athletes hate that wears the damn jersey and screams like a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
mean, that's
Okay.
fine. I'm good with it, man. I don't care. I'm good with it.
Nick Jordan says, "Magic Mickey, do a bet with me. If Cody takes them all the way, I'll do a bet with you, brother.
I'll take.
I'll do a
take
bet
that
with
any
you,
day
no
of the week.
problem.
I'll give you 100-to-1 odds, man.
I'll do that all day long." And he goes, "All-time great times took time to flourish." No, I agree with you, but you have to have the right coach. Coaching matters, guys. Why do you think Golden State did what they did? They went back-to-back 50 games. Back-to-back. And they got rid of him.
I mean,
Back-to-back.
Look at L.A. Kobe and Shaq. What happened when Phil came in? I mean,
I'm just saying coaching matters, bro. You look at when the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson took over as coach, what happened? Coaching matters. It does. Coaching matters, bro. You got to understand the basic stuff. Said Mark is bad in adjustments, 100%. If Mark plays a coach who's good in adjustments, Mark will get cooked. I believe. I just don't think the Thunder are really trying to win yet. I just don't. Because last year Nathan, how many times did I scream talking about screw all that young stuff? We ain't young. We're battle tested. Yep. We're battle tested. Yep. And my deal is this with the coach, Magic Mitchie. SGA led the NBA in clutch points last year. And you take the ball out of his hands and you put it in J-Dub's hands. Now, what coach is going to take the ball out of the guy who led the league in clutch points and put it in somebody who's not even in the top 25? Coaching matters. But once again, he's developing J-Dub. That's what he's doing to take over as a number one. And I've said he's a number 3, a 2A. I'm giving him 2B. Nathan says he's a 3.
He's a 2B3.
Yeah, what you said, 3. And that's what he is. It's SGA, Chet, then him. And there's nothing wrong with that. And all I'm saying is we have another 3-headed monster like we had back in the day. And that gives kudos to Sam Presti for being able to do it more than once. That's impressive. I mean, that's impressive. How many GMs can say, I built 2 super teams? In 17 years he built 2?
Without trading for any of them. Well, I guess he traded for SGA. But.
Listen, Mitchie, I understand SGA made a comment. What's his name? Nathan brought that up. He says he make about getting other guys ready. Was that you or somebody else that put that on the show the other night? Was that you or somebody else? Anyway, somebody else brought that up about him saying that, and I said all he's doing is towing the team line. And I'm gonna say this about playmakers. SGA did something that only 2 other players did. That's average 30, shoot 50%, and 2 steals. That's Michael Jordan, SGA, and Steph Curry. And SGA did it twice. And that's average 30 and shoot over 50. He did it twice. Steph Curry only did it once. Jordan did it, 5 or 6 times, which is
5 times.
Which is insane.
5 times.
Which is insane. That's just insane. Average 30, shoot 50%, average 6 steals. That's insane. As a player, you have no idea how hard that is. Now, Magic Mitchie, 100% our future is magnificently, it's not bright, it's nuclear. It's nuclear.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. Our future is nuclear, bro. We've got one of the top 5 players. Yeah, go ahead.
If you keep him.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all we're saying. We're keeping. Look at this. Magic Mitchie, I'm going to say this. I said 3 years ago we had 2 issues. We had 3 issues. We had perimeter defense, we had outside shooting, and we had inside presence. Those are 3 things we need to fix. Last year he fixed both of those. We were one of the top teams in 3-point shooting, and we were one of the top teams in perimeter defense, and we were one of the 30th in the league in interior rebounding. So those were the three things that we had to fix, and he fixed two of them. And then this year he did what? He fixed that by adding iHeart. So he fixed that. And when you get iHeart and Chet back, it's going to be seriously our inside. There's not going to be all them offensive rebounds. We're not going to be 30th in the league. And I think, do I have those stats, Nathan? Here's where we are. This was us last year, guys. Offensive rebounds, we were 30th in last year. Okay? This is 2024, 25. Okay? Oh, this was actually this year. This is when Chet was here on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, this is where we are now. We're 26th in offensive rebounding and 30th in giving up offensive rebounds. Last year, we were 30th in offensive rebounds, getting them, and we were 30th in giving up offensive rebounds.
That's horrible. Oh, that's horrible.
So when iHeart went out, this was on the right. This was out iHeart and just Chet. And then when Chet went out, this is where we are now. And of course, those numbers are going to go up because iHeart's made all the difference in the world because we only gave up 9 offensive rebounds tonight. And I think we gave up 12 the other night. And this is my thing. Can I see Mark correcting those mistakes that you see in him? It's been 3 years. I think he's stuck with what I think he is who he is. He's a developmental coach that's excellent at out of bounds plays. He's very creative. I tip about to him on that. But when it comes to the other stuff that matters, which is lineups and understanding floor of the game, he's horrible. So at least get him somebody who knows how to do that and help him, at least for a year, and then get him the understanding. Then I think he's smart enough to fix it.
He is.
The coach at the Celtics did. Just give him some help, saying, "Hey, bro, here's what you're missing." But the question is, if that's what Sam Presti wants, or do they just want to be relevant? Because remember, you got to pay SGA $400 million 2 years from now. This next year, you got to pay Chet and J-Dub both max contracts. Which, why aren't we going to do that? Even though Chet's only played 1 full year out of 3.
Yeah, but he's there, dude. He's there.
Well, I agree. No, I don't think. No, what I'm saying is his coaching is the exact same, Mitchie. His coaching is the exact same. These are the three. Those are his issues, and he still has them. He doesn't understand floor of the game, and he doesn't understand lineups. And you call him experimental. That's what you're calling him. I call him. You don't know what the hell you're doing. We don't need to experiment. You do like the Celtics. Here's our guys. The Celtics have the deepest bench in the league. We're second. Because you have SGA, J-Dub, Chet, iHeart, Caruso, Kaysen, Wiggins, Dort, Joe, J. Will, and K-Rich. That's 11. You're deep. So you got them deep. Now, when the playoffs come, 2 of those guys got it. You ain't going to play J-Dub, you ain't going to play K-Rich. And you're 9 deep, and you're going. That's all I'm saying. You got the squad, and you got, like Boston said, okay, here we are. Here's when you play. You play with this group. And so the more you play with the group of players, you know what the hell they're doing. They're still trying to figure out iHeart, and you can see them still messing up sometimes because they don't know, they haven't played together long enough to know where everybody flows. So you put groups together that know what they're doing. I know if I make a move like Bill Self, who is the coach of Kansas, I used to love to play with Bill Self at the end of games. You know why? Because I knew where the hell he was going to be. I knew if I did this, Bill was going to do that. And we beat Michigan because we beat Michigan on the last second shot by me driving to the basket. His man came over. I made the nice bounce pass. And Bill makes a 15-footer to win the game against Michigan.
Well, I mean, in the pros right now, I mean, Steph and Draymond.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example.
You got to know what the other person's going to do. And the more you play together as a group, the more that helps. When you have your group of guys that you know that you're going to play together, that's how you seal, and that's how when the end of the year comes and the playoffs come, I know if I do this, Nathan's going to do that. I know that if Nathan does this, I'm going to do that. Because you play together enough and you built up the ability to know what the other person's going to do. You have to have that. If you don't have that, you're in trouble in the playoffs, which is what cost us last year. You have to understand your lineups. You have to understand what the other person is going to do at given certain situations. If you don't do that, you're in trouble down the stretch. So all this experimental stuff has got to go away. Now, granted, we're hurt. And like I said before, I'm really happy we're hurt right now instead of, Chet's missing the first, 20-something games instead of the last 20? Ihart missed the first 8 or 9, 10. I'd rather do that than the last 10. So if we get all our injuries out of the way, early? You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting all their injuries out of the way, early? So that's kind of how I look at it. So, but like I said we have a great team. We have a great nucleus. Sam Presti has built a fantastic array of players by adding Ihart and adding Caruso. Because I can tell you, when you have that lineup of SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, Wiggins, you ain't getting no shots off. Now, you're going to kill this on the inside.
Let me throw this out there. A big what if. Say for some crazy reason we get number one. Can you imagine Ihart, Chet, and Cooper Flag?
With SGA and Kaysen, or SGA and Caruso, or SGA and Dort, or SGA and J-Dub. You'd have SGA, J-Dub, Cooper Flag, Ihart, and Chet on the floor at one time. I don't know who the hell got a better fire than that. And then you got Dort coming off the bench. You got Caruso coming off the bench. You got Kaysen coming off the bench. You have Wiggins coming off the bench. Really? Come on now.
Too. Don't forget about him.
I mean, come on now.
He's not even playing this year.
That
would be believable.
Unbelievable. Man. Yeah. And I tell everybody, like Drew was arguing with me about Cooper Flag. I've seen Cooper Flag play. He's Larry Bird. He's Larry Bird that's athletic. And I would tell, when I go to the barbershop, talk to the black people in the, the black barbershop, and Nathan's been there once. And they were nice, by the way. They were nice. They didn't use how they normally.
They were great guys, man. I enjoyed every minute of it.
But you missed a lot of the guys a couple of guys weren't there that, they would still been nice. They wouldn't talk like they normally would because, because there was a fly in the ointment. There was a fly in the ointment. But anyway,
that's okay.
There was a fly in the chocolate pudding. Anyway, like I told them, they asked me about Larry Bird. They was like, "Oh, gee, what about Larry Bird?" I said, "Listen, this is how I feel. Like, he's number 7 in my all-time list of top 10 players." I said, all I know is LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Magic, Kobe. None of them ever said, you know what? Go to a team and said, you know what? Y'all don't deserve my right hand. I'm just going to use my left today to shoot free throws, shoot jump shots, and shoot layups. And I'm right-handed for 25. Cooper Flag is a better, more athletic version of Larry Bird, is what he is. That's what he is. He's a more athletic. Like I said, LeBron is a more athletic Magic Johnson. Is what LeBron is. He's a team player, but he's a more athletic Magic Johnson than he is the best player ever. And I can't give him the best player ever because you disappeared in the finals. You can't be the greatest player ever, and when your sport's biggest event, you disappear, you can't be the GOAT. You can't be the GOAT. GOATs don't disappear in the biggest moments.
You can't have a losing record. You can't have a losing record in the finals.
Well, but you can't completely disappear in a game, Nathan, in a series. Against Dallas in that first Miami, he completely disappeared. He was nowhere to be found. And he was barely somewhere to be found in the San Antonio series. So I'm sorry, I can't give you the GOAT when you disappear. I can't. Sorry. That ends that. So
well, man, dude,
Cooper,
we gotta get this, man. It's 2 hour and 4 minute blowout.
Okay, yeah, we gotta get out. Okay, hold on. He says Cooper Flag does not have the playmaking that Larry Bird had. Yes, he does. Yes, he does, bro. I'm telling you, Magic, he can play. I've seen him up close. He can play. He's legit. He's legit. I promise you. And I can tell everybody, just one time, go to a EYBL, which is the Elite Youth Basketball League for Nike. Go one time. See all the top 50 players. especially the top 10 players. There's nowhere to hide. If you can play, you can play. If you can't, you can't. There's nowhere to hide. Okay, guys? And Cooper Flag, I'm like, who the hell is this dude right here? Oh, my God. He's dunking on people, knocking down threes, shooting fadeaways, hook shots, step backs, making passes. I'm like, who is this dude? Cooper Flag. I heard about him. Oh, he's a beast, bro. Straight up beast. But anyway, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys for coming on today, giving your opinion. And Nathan, I appreciate you. And we're going to hook up Friday, right, at the bank?
Yep.
Don't start. Yep. I don't want to hear your mess. Don't start in. And for everybody else, Mitchie, Nick, everybody, Rashawn, John, appreciate all you guys coming on tonight and giving us some love. And we appreciate you guys. And by the way, everybody stay safe tonight. Stay